Today's news about Andretti Motorsport being denied a Formula One entry. I hope you understand that if you're a Formula One fan in North America, Liberty Media and Formula One don't care about you or your interests. They only care about the potential sponsorship dollars that North American companies provide. There's a lot to say about this situation, and I don't think that I'm exaggerating with what I said in the opening. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the FIA slash F1 statement that they released on the situation and tell you what I think as we go through it together. So, let's start reading, shall we? The presence of an 11th team would not on its own provide value to the championship. The most significant way in which a new entrant would bring value is by being competitive. Now, let me stop right there. First paragraph, and I've already got something to say. Be competitive? Are we being sarcastic? When Haas literally said that they were taking 2021 off to get the car right for 2022 and still sucked. And their new, recently promoted, who had no idea it was coming, technical director is saying, yeah, the car is not going to be ready. So don't expect us to be pulling off more than last place like we usually do when the season starts. So we're seriously going to say that competitiveness is an issue when Andretti, without actually having a solid green light, has built a shell, as it has an engine deal, and was doing wind tunnel testing. Honestly, they're already more serious of a team than Haas, and I know I'm picking on Haas, but I could be picking on Kick Salba F1 crypto casino offshore bank account F1 team. They're in the same boat. So we're talking about competitiveness when we literally have teams saying, yeah, we're not going to try this year, so we can try harder next year and still fucking suck. So it's frustrating that they're going to say that. And we're just starting. We haven't even gotten in the weeds. So let's continue reading on here. We do not believe that the applicant would be a competitive participant. While the Andretti name carries some recognition for F1 fans, our research indicates that F1 would bring value to the Andretti brand rather than the other way around. Okay, let's talk about it. I'm pretty sure if you were to poll 100 people in the United States of America, or fuck, even Canada where I'm from, do you know who Mario Andretti is? Or do you know the name Andretti? And yeah, I'm pretty sure most of them would say, yes, synonymous with motorsport. To be honest, your more casual people probably wouldn't be able to tell you he was an F1 world champion, a Daytona champion, Indy 500 champion, IndyCar champion. They probably don't know the weeds of his career, but they know the name sounds familiar. Bet you if you ask them who George Russell is, they'd have no idea who you're talking about at all. And that's not even a dig at George Russell. Pretty much anybody on the grid that's not Max Verstappen, Daniel Ricciardo, or Lewis Hamilton, or Charles Leclerc, maybe Lando Norris, people don't know who the fuck they are. They just seriously don't, because they just don't. But Mario Andretti is a very popular name in North America. Andretti Motorsport competes in everything. That's the other thing that grinds my gears, is the fact that they're saying they're not going to be competitive when they're competitive in literally every motorsport category they decide to compete in. Whether it's IndyCar, whether it's World Endurance Championship, whether it's Extreme E, whether it's Formula E. Everything they do it well. So I'm pretty sure you can see the steam coming from my ears after that one, and there's still more to go. So let's continue reading this. On the basis of the application as it stands, we do not believe that the applicant has shown that it would add value to the championship. Now, let's not talk about name value. I just did that with my analogy of George Russell versus the Andretti name. This tweet that I'm going to put up on screen from Sam Stage of the Engine Braking podcast, great podcast, check it out, is just hitting the nail on the head. Because let's talk about dollars and cents like these corporations like to. Sponsors that Andretti works with: AutoNation Rev, $28 billion in 2021. DHL, their revenue, just DHL, biggest shipping company. I'm pretty sure F1 actually works with them already. 81 billion with a B in 2021. Hewlett Packard, I don't even know what they do. I probably butchered that name. I'm sorry. But their revenue in 2021, $2 trillion fucking dollars. And you're telling me Andretti doesn't bring value to Formula One? You have to be shitting me. This just seems like some elitist, we don't want another American team on the grid bullshit. Like, it's not Haas 2.0. Again, I'm sorry I'm shitting on Haas, but when your owner is openly saying, I don't want to spend more money on the team, and then you're denying a team that is coming with an owner that wants to do nothing more than spend money on a Formula One team, it just hurts my brain. All right, this statement has already taken years off my life. Let's wrap this up before I have an aneurysm on camera. We would look differently on an applicant for the entry of a team into the 2028 championship with a GM power unit, either as a GM works team or as a GM customer team, designing all allowable components in-house. Now, let's talk about that one on multiple levels. Let's start at the very top. They're basically saying, hey, if Cadillac or GM were to supply you an engine because they're a manufacturer, we would let you in, no questions asked, doesn't matter that you've done all of the other work other than just supplying the engine, which is why I don't understand why them bringing Cadillac would all of a sudden change everything, because they're also shitting on one of their current engine suppliers in Renault, because the car would have been packing a Renault engine if the bid got approved until Cadillac supplied it in 2028. So you're shitting on one of your few engine manufacturers, because realistically you have Ferrari, you have Mercedes, you have Renault, and then Red Bull Racing Motors is just a Honda with some different badging on it. They're basically shitting on one of the few current engine suppliers, saying like, yeah, even though you got a deal in place with an engine supplier, that's not good enough. So this is really frustrating, because at the end of the day, imagine hitting every possible criteria minus signing a team principal and drivers, and them saying like, nah, still not good enough. Like, what more does Andretti have to do to prove that they are a serious F1 team other than just sneaking a car into a race and fucking competing? It's just frustrating. They say they're not going to be competitive, but they're competitive in every racing series they compete in. They say they're not going to bring value to F1 when they literally work with multi-trillion and billion-dollar companies on the daily as current sponsors for their racing teams. They add more value and competitiveness than probably 30% of the teams on the grid. So that's why it's frustrating. And I'm not even going to get into all the people saying that they're boycotting Formula One for this, because we all know that you're not. These people are canceling their F1 subscriptions and posting screenshots on Twitter for a few likes, when in reality, we all know when the first race rolls around, you're going to be glued to the couch watching it with the rest of us. So that's why I'm not going to sit here in front like I'm going to do that, even though I am very frustrated about this situation. I'm letting my frustrations be heard in other ways. Still going to watch the races because, Aston Martin didn't really do anything that wrong. Fernando Alonso definitely didn't, so fuck it. But I'd love to know what you guys think about this whole situation in the comment section down below. Did Andretti get screwed over? Because honestly, yeah, they did. But I'd love to know what you guys think about it. Did they or didn't they? Is F1 out of their mind? Are you going to be watching this season? Or are you going to boycott and post the screenshot on Twitter for some easy likes? I'd love to know in the comment section down below. While you're down there, I'd appreciate it if you hit that like button and that subscribe button. I usually put out a video every other week, but sometimes some crazy shit happens and I want to talk about it. So here we are. Anyway, I've been your host, Chase, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.